everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. I know the weather wasn't as good as the summer's been, but good weekend to relax and stay in. Alright, so today I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about chemical and metal toxicity. So chemicals and metals are things that we often run into within our environment that can range from anywhere from, different cleaning chemicals to other toxic and heavy metal toxicity that we run into, things like aluminum, lead, mercury, arsenic. All of those things are really prevalent within our environment, and they can be very harmful to our health, and there are things we can do to prevent running into them, and there are things that we can do to actually deal with them when we do interact with them within our environment. So first I'll start off with how you want to identify them and start to avoid them. So what you want to do when you're identifying them is you want to know, okay, where are the chemicals in my environment coming from? How can I eliminate and reduce them? Unfortunately, we can't eliminate all toxins that we're exposed to because things like the air are polluted, our water's polluted, all of that is happening. So the reality of that is that we're going to run into them. But the good part of that is that we can give you the tools to handle them and help your body actually do what it needs to do to get rid of them. Okay, so the first thing that I always want to address when it comes to chemical and metal toxicity, a lot of times we're so focused on our food, making sure we're eating clean and organic and the least processed food available, which is great, and we fully encourage that, as you know. But another thing that people really miss out on when it comes to toxicity of metal and chemicals is the things that you are actually putting on your body, the things that you are using to clean with. All of those are highly toxic if you are not using the right products. So things like dryer sheets, laundry detergents, lotions, perfumes, plugins for your walls, Febreze, all of that stuff contains very, very harmful chemicals. These chemicals do a multitude of things, but in particular what they can do is they can mimic things like hormones. So if an issue with hormone balance is something you're dealing with, definitely looking at reducing your environmental toxins is going to be very important. So making sure that you are not using those added fragrance items because what they do when they mimic that hormone is they actually just totally mess up your normal hormone balance. So something you need to do first is eliminate them from your environment. So making swaps. Get a cleaner laundry detergent. Use essential oils to help things have a scent or fragrance versus fragranted, chemically made products. Then you also want to cut back on things like not purchasing dryer sheets. You want to pay attention to the things you're putting on your skin topically. So like lotions, body gels, bath soaps, all of that is really important when you're looking at your chemical products. Things like shampoos and conditioners. Ladies, when you're getting your hair done, it's really important to know that the dye or the bleach, bleach is literally a chemical, so dye and bleach is going to be harmful to your health, especially when it's just sitting on your scalp and getting soaked into your bloodstream. So anything you put on topically, getting soaked into your bloodstream does within seconds. So you want to very much so be picky about what you're putting on your body. Ladies, makeup is a big one. So within the eyeshadows and things like that, or any like glittery type things, a lot of times what they're using is metals to make that shimmer and shine. I know it's pretty and fun, but there are alternatives out there, and we'll get to that. So first, identifying in your environment where you're getting those metals and chemicals from. We do know that food can contain metals and chemicals via different things that is being sprayed onto our crops, like herbicides and pesticides, glyphosate, that sort of thing. So again, reaching for organic produce as much as you can, and then also reaching for the least processed products that you can too. So anything in whole food form is the most ideal. So your vegetables, your fruits, good meats that don't contain antibiotics, that aren't fed GMO food. So a lot of chemical intake can come from GMOs or genetically modified organisms. So this is a chemically made thing, and what's going on is when the crop grows. Let's say corn's a big one. So GMO corn grows, they use it for feed, to feed the animals. That animal's meat is affected by that corn, and when you're eating that meat, therefore so are you. So what you want to do is you want to focus on organic, because organic cannot be GMO. You want to focus on like for any meat you're purchasing, you want grass-fed, you want free-range chickens. So also you have to think, just because it's organic doesn't mean that they aren't fed grain. It just can mean that they aren't fed GMO grain. So you have to also think about that when you're going to purchase your meats. So grass-fed, grass-finished is the most ideal, but you're going to get the most out of the meat. So the cow or the animal is healthier, first of all. Their meat is much more nutrient dense from the grass that it's eating. And then and it's nice, you can have much appreciation towards grass-fed and grass-finished products, because the farmer actually, they have to take a lot more time with the animal to raise it, harvest it, all of that. So there's that point of view as well. But anyways, so making sure all of your meats and your protein products are coming from a good source is a really important way to actually avoid chemicals too. All right, and then another thing, let's see what I talked a little bit about water. So making sure you're getting a clean source of water is really important. Whether you need to put a filter at your house, whether you need to buy bottled water. Ideally, we say not to buy plastic bottles and be drinking out of them continuously, because then you're running into a little bit of plastic toxicity there. But if you have a glass bottle, drinking out of that is the most ideal. All right, so like I said, this can affect many things. We kind of talked about hormones already, but it also can affect things like digestion. So when chemicals get into our gut, and they can kill off different things like our intestines, they can kill off the villi, which and the junctions in our intestine, which are really important for keeping our gut. The junctions need to be tight, and that keeps our gut in check with getting the specific nutrients we need out of food into our bloodstream, and keeping the ones that we don't in our gut for elimination. Well, when we continuously wear and tear on these junctions and these villi, what happens is we have a lack of absorption of nutrients, and then we also have something that a lot of people refer to as like a leaky gut type of symptom happening. So a lot of food sensitivities to different things. Bowels are off, sleep's off, mood can be off. So all of that can happen when the gut starts to not function at optimum, which unfortunately a lot of us are running into nowadays. So getting those chemicals out, first of all, and then coming in and healing any of the organs that are being affected by the chemicals or metals that you have previously come into contact with. So actually, the first organ that is in charge of making sure your body gets rid of those chemicals and metals are your parotid glands. So your parotid glands sit here in your jaw, and your parotid glands are in charge of tagging those chemicals or metals when they enter your body, whether we're breathing them in, we're eating them, we're drinking them, anything like that. Those parotid glands go, okay, that's something bad, your body needs to eliminate it in XYZ matter. Well, what happens is, unfortunately, those get really worn down. They get tired, just like anything else when you use it a lot. So they stop working at optimum, or they kind of just halt all progress at all. So what we want to do is support those parotid glands, and we actually have a supplement here called Parotid PMG, which is really important for parotid gland support. It comes in, it helps feed the parotid glands good whole food supplement nutrition to get them working again. So okay, that's the first step, keeping your mouth clean. A week ago, or maybe a little more than that, I did a video on coconut oil pulling. That's another thing you can do to help with toxins in your mouth and keep your parotid glands well. So you want to focus on good oral care. Then, we have the digestive tract and elimination organs that are involved in helping our body naturally detoxify. So we have things like our liver, our kidneys, our bladder, all of our intestines, and our gut, our stomach. So all of those are big elimination organs, and they are in charge of getting things out, whether it's through bowels or through urine. So that's the most ideal way for us to detoxify from metals and chemicals. Sometimes what can happen though is that when we our body is trying to get rid of things that is harmful to it, what can happen if the bowels are backed up, your gut isn't working properly, it will come out through your skin. So we see patients with hives, with different blotches and things that are trying to come out of their skin because their gut is not in check, and their body is trying to push something that's toxic out. Well, this easiest way of exit is to go through the skin. So when your body is freaking out, if you experience anything like hives or psoriasis or eczema, that's a sign. That's your body telling you, hey, something is in here that I do not need or want, and it's getting rid of it. So listen to that symptom as a, hey, my body's trying to tell me something. So when you're getting rid of things, your bowels need to be in check. So your gut needs to be heading towards better function. So to do that, you're going to want to implement things like good proteins, good fats. Fermented foods is going to be huge. So, doing something like a couple teaspoons of apple cider vinegar every day is really important. If you have gut issues, that can help get things digesting better. It can help balance out your pH level, because we actually do need to be at a certain acid level for our body to digest foods properly, and that is very, very acidic. So even though if you suffer from something like heartburn or indigestion, what can happen is your body is actually not acidic enough, and Tums or something like that is more of a band-aid cover-up to help with the actual symptom you're experiencing, the actual heartburn. But what you need is you need to balance out your stomach more, and you need your stomach to actually be at a more acidic pH. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I talked about hormone balance. So a lot of different, cases with hormone issues that we see here, whether it's like an energy or menopause, infertility, all of those issues, those are a hormone issue essentially. But then also it can really be affected by your gut not being in line, and by there being too many environmental toxins in your environment and then going into your body. So making sure you get those in check is really important. And then in particular, like I talked about, our liver, our kidneys, our bladder, those are huge in charge of getting rid of different toxins. So there are different things that you can do to support those, more so than, if you weren't, I guess. We have different programs. So we have like a purification program we call, that's specifically like a 3-phase liver detox. So that's a really great liver detox that we have available. There's also a 10-day one. We don't do as frequent because the 21-day one works so well. But then you can also making sure you're drinking plenty of fluids to keep your bladder and your kidneys happy. You could throw some like lemon in there too if you wanted to, for some flavor and some extra detoxifying factors. Like I said, fermented foods, sauerkraut, apple cider vinegar, pickles. If you want to get checked for like a pre or probiotic, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. So making sure that your biome is well and that you have that good bacteria, that good stuff to help fight off anything bad that's happening. So, all right, just a recap. What you want to do first: identify chemical toxins, metal toxins, figure out where they're coming from, make a shift over to the good stuff. So, don't go and, if you want to, please go clean out all the bad things and then replace them all at once. But if you want to just make a shift, just, pick out something each week. Okay, this week I'm going to replace my toxic shampoo and conditioner. The next week I'm going to just make all my own cleaners versus using, hi Abby and Cassidy, versus making or using the ones that, like Lysol and Clorox and all of that sort of thing. You would be surprised when you do the searching and the looking for things, you're going to find much less toxic items than you would suspect, than you would think that you couldn't. So another good resource for that is ewg.org. So EWG is a third-party website, and they have what's called a skin deep database. And what you want to do with that is you can go on there and you can search basically any beauty hygiene product that that's out there, and you can find out exactly how toxic they are. So on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being the most toxic, it will let you know what chemicals are found in it, and then it also will let you know what they do and why they're harmful. And then it will let you know if it's okay, it's clean, it's good to use, or no, this is one of those items that you should stay away from. So again, that's from anywhere, makeup, sunscreens I know are on there, body washes, lotions, all of that is it's a really great resource to have. And then let's see, good, yep, okay, so avoid it, find new things, and then start supporting your body with different things like good food, enzymes, making sure you're keeping your diet super clean and avoiding things like sugar and all of that. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. We will be back this week later with some more tips about diet and diabetes, I believe is coming up, that Dr. Shannon will be talking about. All right, thanks for coming.